Hello and welcome to day 6 of 7 days of Halloween. Hi everyone, it's Monica from Tailor Made Cards for You. Well, it's the 6th day and today we're going to make a spooky Halloween card using one of the new stamp sets from Tim Holtz called Haunted House. Now if you like creating scenes on your cards, then this is the set for you. There's some great images that will enable you to make some great Halloween scenes. We're also going to be working with the trees background stamp from I Break for Stamps, as well as 3 distressed oxides. We're going to be working with vintage photo, antique linen, and black soot. So let's go ahead and get started. Now I wanted to create a very eerie background on my white cardstock. So antique linen and black soot work really great for this. So I just took my 2 distressed oxides and smeared them onto my craft mat, and then I spritzed them with some water. And then I took my white cardstock and dabbed it over the spritzed ink. Now we're going to be creating some layers here. So you're going to want to take your heating tool and dry your ink after each layer. This will ensure that your ink gets set into your cardstock and you don't get a muddy result. Now while we're going for an eerie, gloomy background look, you want to make sure that you don't have your black soot overtake your cardstock. Keep in mind, we still are going to use some stamps to create a scene, and if your cardstock is too dark, then it may be hard to see some of your images. So after a couple of layers, I decided to take my antique linen and fill in some of the white spots. And then I added one more layer of the spritzed antique linen and black soot. Now the background stamp that we're going to be working with is from I Break for Stamps, and this is a perfect background stamp for Halloween cards. It is a bunch of clusters of tree branches, and it looks like it was just made for this Halloween scene. Now if you find that this is a stamp that you can't live without, and I can certainly understand that, then make sure you head over to my blog before you head over to the I Break for Stamps store, because I have a coupon for you for 10% off. The distress oxide color that I'm using is the vintage photo, and this is a perfect so once I was happy with the background, it was now time to put together my scene. Now I knew that the haunted house was going to be the focal point, so I wanted to stamp that first. I also decided to stamp the half moon. Now the ink that I'm using for my images is the black Archival ink, and this is my go-to ink. You'll find in a lot of my videos this is the ink that I use for most of my cards. Now you could probably use black soot, but the distress oxides tend to be a little bit muted, and I wanted my images just to be a little bit darker than the background, and that's why I decided to go with the black Archival ink. I am using my Misti to stamp all of my images, and this will ensure that I get nice crisp images. These images are very detailed, so it did take me a couple of tries to get the images exactly the way I wanted them, but that's the nice thing about the Misti, is that you can stamp several times and you'll always be stamping in the same place. Now this set also comes with a stamp that has splatters. And a lot of times people just take black paint on a paintbrush and create their own splatters, but this stamp lets you control it a little bit more. It looks exactly the same as if you were to splatter some paint. It's just, like I said, a more controlled stamp, and it really adds some nice interest to the background. The set also comes with this little bat, which is also an added feature for your background. So once I had all of my stamping complete, I decided to take some of my vintage photo and use my water brush to color in that sign just a little bit. I didn't want the gray to come through on the sign, so I decided, like I said, to add just a little bit of ink. Now this stamp set that I'm showing you now is from Bo Bunny, and it's called Stitches. And I actually saw somebody use it on another YouTube video, and I had to have it. The set comes with 5 border stamps, and then it also has 3 flower stamps along with some little embellishment stamps. Comes with hearts and buttons, and it's a really cute set. I really like this set, even though I seem to be struggling with it a bit, because I like that you can finish off your edges if you don't have a die cut. So if you wanted your edges to look like they did have stitches, you could easily create some faux stitches with this stamp set. And then finally, I'm coming in with my distressing tool to frame my edges. Now I did add a little bit of shimmer with a tonic glitter gloss pen to my moon. And then after the fact, I did decide to add a Tim Holtz paper doll to the front of my card, which you'll see at the end of the video. So this completes card number 6 in my 7 Days of Halloween series. As always, I will leave a list of all the products that I've used to create the card, along with the links to the stores. If you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you head out. Alright everyone, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you again tomorrow.